While at the National Science Teachers Association conference, the Cold Lake High School science teachers had the opportunity to participate in an amazing on-site field study at the Bracken Cave located just outside of San Antonio, Texas.
These are all bats emerging from the cave.
Wow.
And it's going to take about 4 hours for all of them to come out.
Cup your hands behind your ears. It gets even louder. And you look funny on Facebook.
It's about 600 feet from the mouth of the cave to the very back of it. Inside the cave, at the floor, you're looking at 80 to 100 feet wide, and the from floor to ceiling is between 100 and 117 feet. So you have this two large cavernous rooms. About 2/3 of the way back, there's a breakdown pile or a collapse from the ceiling separates the main room from the back room, and there's an area wide, big enough so the bats can kind of get from that.
I'm gonna share a cool bat fact. Bats only have one baby and it's called a pup.
This is a maternity colony, so it's only made up of females that are pregnant, and all the bachelors and the unpregnant females are often bachelor pads.
Okay, there are only 3 species of vampire bats in the world, and they're all very south of here in Mexico and in South America.
Cool bat fact is that every night these bats, when they come out of their cave, show up on the Doppler radar over Texas.
So the blues are the insects?
Yeah, the blues, the light blue will be the insects.
And the green are the bats.
The green are the concentration of the bats. The bats are mixed in the blues too, but the mainstream here.
Very cool.
The baby bats are 100 feet off the floor of the cave, and the first time that they fly out, they only have that 100 feet. If they drop to the bottom, there's over 30 feet of bat guano and beetles that will eat them alive.
Every night, 8 to 10 million bats leave this cave, go hunting, and then come back at 7 in the morning.
We're back with more cool bat facts. So, some interesting bat facts about babies and their mama, since this is a maternity ward. What happens is when the babies are born, their mom actually holds on to them and gets to know them for the first 4 to 5 days. Then, once they know each other's scent, the mom puts them into the little bat nursery and goes out flying and eating to get enough energy to nurse the baby and feed the baby. And then comes back and cares for their little bat. Now, bats can't fly at this point, but they can crawl around. So the mom has to find their little pup in the nursery with all the other pups. And that's cool bat facts.
In 1 square foot, about this big, in this bat cave, there will be 200 to 500 bats hanging on.
They're about this big. Now, these guys migrate from Mexico in March, and they stay here till November when it gets cold. Their babies are born start of July, and this here is the largest bat cave in the world, and it doubles. On July 1st, it's going to double the population. There'll be like 16 to 20 million bats coming out. Cool bat facts.
Back with cool bat facts. Did you know that in Texas, the farmers save over $20 billion because of the bats, because they eat all these moths and then they don't have to use all that money on pesticides? Cool bat facts.
These hungry moms are going to eat their body weight bugs tonight when they come out. This is a pound of corn moth. Anybody Everybody got it on your bucket list? You can hold it, so you can check it off your bucket list. This is what one bat's going to eat in a month. So this colony tonight, when they go out for dinner, are going to eat about 100 tons of these bugs. So that's why they're so important to the local farmers. Just in the 8-county area around San Antonio, the cotton farmers are saving about $700,000 a year in crop damage or pesticides they don't have to buy because of all these bugs.
Back with more cool bat facts. This colony eats 100 tons of moths every single night before they fly back here. That's crazy.
More with way cool bat facts. We found out tonight that each bat weighs the same as 2 quarters, and the babies are only a quarter of that size.
Jenny, you've told us a lot of cool things about bats. Now I'm wondering, is there anything that's endangering these awesome bats?
Well, as you know, bats are really important to the ecosystem. Not only do they eat tons of moths, but they're also important for pollinating plants. But sadly, a lot of the world's bat populations are becoming endangered from a fungus. And this fungus causes hibernating bats to come out of their hibernation early, and basically they use up their fat stores and they don't have enough to eat and they starve to death. These bats here don't hibernate, so they're not endangered, but this fungus is really causing problems for a lot of the other bat populations.
That's awesome, Jenny. Thanks for sharing. Is there anything we can do to help?
Well, you can join a bat conservation program. You can make a bat house to try and increase populations of bats in your area, and just become more aware of the species in your area and if they're being affected.
All right, we're here with James. He's a member of the Bat Conservation International, and we are here to ask him what his favorite fact about bats are.
I've got a lot of favorite facts, but one of my favorites is that you can't get a fruit bat drunk.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yes, it's
How
been tried.
would you know?
I was not the grant recipient, but it's been tried, and because fruit bats in the wild eat primarily the most mature fruit, they end up actually eating a lot of fruit that is already so mature that it started to ferment, and they have very efficient livers to filter out the alcohol. So I think it was 40 times that they can drink 40 times the amount that would kill a human, but they just filter it out, so can't get a fruit bat drunk.
Well,
that
James,
certainly sounds like a country music song, doesn't it?
It does. And we thank you, James, for your cool bat fact.
You're welcome.
Hi, this is Fran at Bracken Cave, and he's the conservationist here who's sharing all of his expertise, and he's just going to share some of his favorite bat facts.
Well, the favorite bat fact we have here is the millions and millions of bats behind us that are flying out for dinner tonight, and the hundreds of tons of insects they're going to eat while they're out. These are mommy bats that are pregnant, and here in a few weeks are going to have babies. And then a few weeks after that, the babies will be flying out feeding on bugs too.
Thank you.
Move out into the bottom of that sinkhole there, and then they'll start climbing upwards. That vortex creates an updraft, so it helps lift them out of the cave, brings a little extra ambiance out with them. Once they get high enough to clear these trees, they're going to fly into the wind, which is going to be kind of out of the east tonight. And that helps them, just like a plane, give them speed and lift, because the big thing is to get away from this cave as quickly as possible, because what you'll see are the hawks start queuing up just before the bats come out for dinner. So we're going to have kestrels, some Swainson's hawks came in, red-tailed hawks, and then when it gets dark, the great horned owls will come in. Now once it starts warming up, our predators come in at the mouth of the cave, and that includes skunks and raccoons and possums, coyotes, fox, and an assortment of snakes. Our coach whips, rattlesnakes, and our rat snakes will queue up down near the mouth of the cave to catch bats, because they're going to be only a few inches from the floor of the sinkhole when they come out of the mouth of the cave, and they'll spiral upwards. They'll fly into the wind, and what you're going to do is you're going to see them when they get downrange from here. They're going to start breaking off into groups They're going to go out at least a 60-mile radius of the cave to feed, and then back. They'll all be back in by 7 or so in the morning. So, baby bat, let's go to the ceiling. They're swirling around and they're using their eyesight. They've got very good eyesight, so they're primarily using their eyesight to get out of the cave and get downrange away from here. You're going to see this stream or river of bats, just like schooling fish. They stay tightly together so that when the predators come after them, there's safety in numbers. And that stream undulates and rolls. And it does that because the safest place is in the middle. And not everybody can be in the middle. So the guy in the middle is getting pushed out on the edge, and he's pushing back in the middle. So it keeps rolling and undulating as it goes across the tops of the trees. And the hawks dive into those groups to pick them off.
Through participating in this NSTA field trip, we learned so much about bats, their role in the ecosystem, and things that may be endangering them. It was mesmerizing to be present as millions of bats emerged from this cave, a truly incredible experience.